tits, bitch.
Hello, fiends and fiendettes. Welcome to the movie review portion of episode 96 of Scream Fiends. I'm your host, Xander, and with me, as always, is Russ.
Yeah.
Subscribe on the YouTube, subscribe on the iTunes for the full episode, audio only. You can find us on iTunes or Google Play. All the past episodes as well.
All of them.
All of them.
Well, that's good.
This episode's movie of the week is 2015's We Are Still Here.
I know you think it's silly, but I really can feel something here, Paul.
So what are we going to do about it?
What if Jacob and May came up for the weekend? She told me once that people pay her to do seances.
This house has an energy all its own. We don't need to find the darkness here, Paul. It's everywhere.
You're not leaving here. You stay, you satisfy the darkness. Every 30 years or so, the goddamn place just wakes up! And it demands new blood!
We are. That's really appropriate for us.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah.
Doing this. So.
This movie's starring Barbara Crampton as Anne Sacchetti.
You might remember her from Reanimator,
From Beyond.
from Beyond.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
Andrew Sensenig as Paul Sacchetti.
Yeah.
Lisa Marie as Mae Lewis.
Mars Attacks.
Sleepy Hollow. And Larry Fessenden as Jacob Lewis, who you may know from...
Until Dawn.
He's a flamethrower guy.
Yeah, he wrote
also, This movie was brought to you from Twitter by Tom Gigliotti. Or Gigliotti. We don't know.
Yeah, please let us know.
Please let us
We
know.
tried to figure that out for 20 minutes last time we tried doing this fucking video portion.
So yes, if you want to be like Tom Gigliotti, recommend a movie to us on Twitter at Scream Fiends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
All right,
We got a
let's do
couple
this
more
thing.
we're going to do.
Oh yeah, I should mention this is going to be completely spoiler filled. We're going to go through the entire movie as we do. If you've been watching Scream Fiends, or if this is your first time,
Yeah.
spoilers beware. If you want to see We Are Still Here,
Unspoiled.
then pause this video right now. Go watch it. It's only an hour and 30 minutes.
Yes, not very long.
And
It's a
yeah,
good amount of time.
come back and
Not 2.5 hours.
yeah.
Good God.
Did I say yeah, I said you can get the full episode on iTunes and Google Play.
Well, you said it the first time. I don't know if you did this time.
You can also
But you just did
subscribe.
now.
You
We're
can
good
also
now.
subscribe on YouTube.
You sure can.
You can. All right. All right. So the movie begins with this snowscape. It really reminded me of Minnesota. Here in Minnesota, that's like what life looks like. 60% of the year.
It's like it's August now, so it's like it's right there.
It's coming. Winter is coming.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's coming.
it's true. It's true what they
I
say.
wish White Walkers were real and Minnesotans had to deal with that because
that'd be
goddamn boring in the winter.
So much more fun.
Get me some dragon glass and
Getting stuck in the snow would just bring so much more excitement to your life.
it's fucking dumb. Why does anybody live here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's not that bad.
And then we get a car driving, and then we are introduced to the main characters of this movie, a couple, husband and wife, Anne and Paul. And they're going to this... See, I couldn't really tell if they bought this house or if it already was kind of their house or if it was their son's house. Did you get a little grasp of what was going on with this house?
I think they just bought it and they were trying to start over, because they had with like 2 months earlier had lost their son to a car accident.
Yeah.
So I think they were moving away from where they were to get away from that. So
Sure,
I think
and
they just
they mentioned something about the movers being there before they got there and how they wanted everything set up a certain way. Like she even asked, like, are they even going to set the pictures up in the right place? So it's very confusing, like what exactly this house means to them.
yeah,
At least maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. I'm not sure.
yeah, it was kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, in any case, they get to the house and...
Yeah, that's my line.
What?
Anyways,
it's kind of just like shots of them moving in, and then there's shots of Paul drinking at a bar and Anne drinking at home. And
a picture.
then we get our first kind of spooky spook.
Yeah, picture falls down.
Yeah.
You get the title of the movie.
We
We're
Are
Still
Still
Here.
It was I really liked that introduction.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah, it's kind of a slow burn, that very first, like, I don't know, what do you
Half of
say,
the movie?
5 minutes?
Oh. I was going to say half
Just
of the
that
movie.
introduction where they're like, it's the snow, the shots of like outside, and
Yeah, there's a lot of cinematographic stuff. Man, I'm tired.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like still shots.
And then the picture falls down, and it's boom, we are still here. And I just felt like that was a really good, like,
wake up, motherfucker!
yeah. No, I was like, all right,
Shit's going
I like
down.
where this movie is headed.
For sure.
Then we get Anne is going through a box of presumably her deceased son's belongings. It's like a comic book and a trophy. Then she hears some noises, some pitter patter,
Yeah.
and she decides to go investigate.
Yes, she does.
And this brings her down to the basement.
With a big old ass boiler that don't work good.
Mm-hmm. And she's looking around, and
Finds a baseball glove.
yeah, there's a baseball glove, and she's all like, "Oh, that was Bobby's. Bobby was her son's name."
Then a baseball rolls down the hill. Or
Down the stairs.
And that she had been looking at earlier. It was like signed by somebody or something, but
And when she's going to look at the glove, we get a brief sort of glimpse. There's looks like a silhouette of a woman standing behind her. Almost, she could be like walking behind her as Anne is walking towards the glove, I suppose. But you can't make out any features or anything. It's just
it's almost like a shadow. Almost.
yes.
And that was creepy.
Actually, I think I'm skipping
Well-
ahead because first you see her.
hand that we thought was a monster.
Oh my God! We had to rewind a couple times to check this out because I was like, "Did you see that?" And it turned out to be
She leans into a doorway to look at the red glove.
yes.
And it looks like something passes behind her, but what it actually is her fingers coming up to the door frame as she like leans in.
Yeah,
But it was dark, so it looked funny.
yeah. It was cool for a moment when we were fooling ourselves that it was some subliminal
We were fooling
exorcist demon face
We
or
didn't believe
something. Yeah.
ourselves. Yeah.
But yeah, before she goes to the glove or sometime then you see the woman, like the shadow woman, like run across the room.
Yeah.
And then you get her behind her and yeah.
Then Paul comes home. She talks
Yep.
about how she feels she has a feeling about this place.
Yeah, and she shows Paul the picture of her son, and it's shattered. The glass is shattered in the frame right on his face.
Yeah.
And she talks about how Bobby never liked that picture, thought his smile was crooked.
And Paul's kind of not convinced. But
Yeah.
then she informs Paul that she's invited her friend May and Jacob up, and he's like, oh, well, she's like, what do you think if they came up? And they like doing seances, and he's like, I get the feeling you already invited him. She's like, yeah. And then their son is coming up with their girlfriend, and he's like, why would their son want to come up and hang up with their dead roommate's parents? And he's like, oops, sorry, that was rude.
Yeah.
It's a weird comment.
Yeah, I assume that he's a little more over this than Anne is.
Yeah.
Like Anne is still pretty torn up about it, but
So then we get the neighbors come over.
yeah, Dave and Kat, who it's pretty clear that Dave runs the show. Like Kat can't really get any words out. Whenever she tries to talk, Dave is like, no.
Yeah, they sit down for a drink, and then he reveals the history of the house to him. And
It's the Dagmars. Dagmars.
it was originally a mortuary, right?
Yeah.
Built as a mortuary in
Yep.
1857, and then the Dagmars were the last people that owned it, or was it the first people that owned it?
I think they were the first ones. Pretty sure they were the first ones, and then people started thinking they were like stealing corpses and selling them.
I think they got caught doing that. They would bury empty caskets, but then sell the bodies to like different places in Boston and Providence.
Rhode
And
Island.
it's just like, oh, Miskatonic University, maybe.
Maybe.
They didn't say that, but yeah. So they did get caught doing that. Then they get ran out of town. But so they got ran out of town. But what actually happens, they got torched in their own house. But yeah, so we'll get to later on with that. But then they just say, we gotta leave, and they leave.
But not before Kat passes a note on to Anne,
Oh yeah,
which turns out to read,
get out.
"Get out. You're going to be hypnotized and they're going to steal your brains." Then we get Anne and Paul are sleeping. Anne's trying to sleep. But we see this, they've got like this big grate underneath the bed. Or like next to the bed on the floor.
Yeah.
And I think you see something down there, right?
Yeah. Like a face or something.
Oh, is that one? No. When do you see the the face with the yellow eyes?
Blue eyes?
I think it is right there. No, they have like yellow eyes.
Oh yeah.
It's like looks like a charred face.
Yeah.
That's what you get a little spooky spook
Yeah.
down in the grate.
So those grates, it's weird that there's just a grate to the lower level. Like, I've seen those kind of grates before, and it's usually part of like a ventilation system or something. Like
Yeah.
in my wife's parents' house, they have one like that, but it's like tied to their venting or something like that. It's not just like an open hole to the next level.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It is like a very wide open grate.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, you can see downstairs.
Yeah. Then we get Joe the electrician
Yeah.
coming to fix the boiler.
No, he's working on the electricity.
Oh, I thought I was doing something with the boiler.
No, because he calls the place up that's supposed to fix the boiler. Says, you need to get somebody out here. That almost killed our electrician.
Oh yeah, because Joe does not have a very good time fixing that
No.
electricity.
Yeah, the light goes out, then it comes back, then it goes out.
And when the light goes out, you see a little shadowy figure off by the staircase.
Yep, and then it bolts across. Then he goes to look at it, and then he gets attacked.
Yep, burns his arm up real bad.
Yeah, it's,
That's when we kind of see that these demons, I would call them,
I call them ghosts.
ghost demons,
Yeah.
are like, yeah, they're like ash.
They look like when
Ash.
you cook a hot dog too long,
Yeah, but people.
but people, like with the cracks. And there's actually like embers, like
Yeah.
burning it under their skin.
They look really cool.
Yeah, that's actually the I like the effect that they did with that.
Mm.
They were creepy.
Yep. Doesn't really look. It looks practical with a little bit of CGI sort of thrown in there.
Yeah, for like that glowing effect and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So yeah, it doesn't look bad at all.
Oh, I appreciated it.
Mm. So Joe gets burned on his arm real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this spot in the basement that's like, it looks like it should be sealed up, but like it's kind of crumbling a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like a weird like hole in the wall that would like up in the corner.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And they never really say what it's for. It's just kind of there,
Yeah.
and there's the camera always goes to it though, and like hints that it's
something.
it's where these things are coming from.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, because it doesn't explicitly say, but I would guess that is the room that the family was burned alive in.
Ooh, now we're getting into the shunned house territory,
Ah.
which is actually it's also we played a Call of Cthulhu game where we ended up in a basement of a house, and there was, behind a false wall there was a person strung up that was like still like sentient,
Yeah.
but like doing voodoo magic on us and stuff.
Huh.
It was pretty cool. I like that game.
Then we meet May and Jacob, the friends of.
Yep. May and Jacob are they're the kid and the kid's girlfriend of May and Jacob. So he's Jacob Jr.
No, this is May and Jacob. We meet them first.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Now I know what you're talking about. Harry
and-
was the boy. Yeah.
Yes, they get there and they decide to go out to Buffalo Bills. Maybe it's a coincidence. It's called Buffalo Bills.
it's a nice homage.
Yeah. They walk in there and everyone is staring at them. They like stop what they're doing and they're just staring at.
Then the waitress,
The four of them.
like the bartender lady's like, "Are you gonna eat here?" Yeah.
4, please.
Well, please. Tables are in the back.
Yep.
Then they go back there and kind of talk about what they've been dealing with at this house.
Yeah, and it seems that more May than Jacob, but May is like some sort of psychic. What do they call medium? She's like a medium.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Jacob is just kind of like
A hippie.
a hippie. Kind
That's
of.
what the guy refers to him.
Yeah.
Oh, if it gets cold, just throw some Maui Wowie on the fireplace.
Yep. And then we meet Harry, who is May and Jacob's son, and was Bobby's roommate.
And his girlfriend we're meeting.
And Harry's girlfriend. They're driving to this house as well because they think because Harry was Bobby's roommate that he'll have some sort of connection and help bring Bobby's spirit around. So Harry and the girlfriend get to the house. They honk and are like, oh, well, let's just go inside.
Oh, yeah, they see a note that says, hey, we're at Buffalo
Oh,
Bills.
yes.
If you want to eat, come on down. Otherwise, the refrigerator's full.
Yep.
Help yourself. So they
Yep.
go decide to help themselves.
Yep.
Because she's all weary and tired, so.
They hang out for a bit, have a drink. Then they're hanging out on the couch, about to have some of that premarital lovin'.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're going to do it?
And then they hear a knock. Is it a knock?
No, it's a... Oh, yeah. No. What? No. It's like a... something else.
Are you sure?
Maybe it is a knock.
It's some sort of noise
Yeah.
that draws them to the basement. Well, Harry goes there first.
Sure does.
Well, he goes to the basement door and it's like half ajar and then it slams shut. So he's like, oh, tough guys playing a prank, aren't they? So he goes down into the basement. He's kind of looking around. And the girlfriend, like, calls out to him and he's like, I'm down in the basement. The door's right in the hallway there. So she goes to the doorway. And then it's just a shot of Harry, like, looking up the stairs, and he's, like, looking up at her, and he's like, oh, this is so cool down here. And you can kind of see in the background some smoke billowing.
Yeah.
So that can't be a good sign.
Oh, Charm Monsters. They come get him.
Yep, grab him and,
Dodge the guy named Eyeball out of his head.
yep, gouge his face.
Yep.
Make his face a hole.
Well, that's... No.
Yeah, they do it with him, too.
Not as good.
Not as good.
But, yeah.
Girlfriend runs out of the house.
She gets grabbed, but then gets away. Didn't she get grabbed on the arm, too? And burned? So when these charm monsters touch you, you get burned.
Yes.
But she gets in the car. Now, do you remember what all the cars look like in this movie? Like
No.
the ones that they drive? I wonder if it's set in the past. Like, I wonder if it's set in, like, the 80s.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
could be. They never have cell phones, right?
Nope. Can't remember I ever seen a cell phone.
Yeah, you're right. Their attire is 70s-ish, possibly 80s.
I wonder.
Yeah.
But, so they, she's getting away. She's going to go to Buffalo Bills.
Yep. Then you see in the rearview mirror,
A vase.
there's
Charm
a
monster.
There's a charm monster. Jams its fist right through the seat.
Grabs her
Chest
boot.
bursts.
Yeah. That was good. The effects in this movie were pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
Very surprising because I would have thought, yeah, this is a haunted house movie. The ghosts are confined to the house.
No, they're not.
No, they
Nope.
sure ain't.
These charm monsters can go wherever they want. They're coming for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Then they get done eating.
Yep, they get home and
They're like, I guess Harry and whatever her name was isn't coming.
yeah.
Let's do a seance.
Well, they're like, want to have a nightcap? Let's get tore up in here.
Oh yeah, and they're drinking.
Yep. And Paul and Anne go to the other room, and Anne is sort of doesn't want Paul to drink anymore because she knows that he's more of the skeptic, so he doesn't want to. She doesn't want him to like
Ruin anything?
anything,
Yeah.
and he's like, "No, I promise, I'm fine."
I'm good.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Gives him the drink. And what happens next? Oh, then we get back at Buffalo Bills. it's
It's
the
closing
main.
time.
Yeah, it's closing time. It's the main waitress and the new girl, and
They get a knock on the door.
yep. So the new girl goes to the door.
Wham!
Gunshot.
Football. And you hear the sack of potatoes hit the ground.
Yep. In walks in Dave and Kat. Now, this is probably the biggest what the heck
Yeah.
in this movie, because why would they shoot this new girl? Assuming that, because the main waitress does say, well, if I would have known it was you guys, I wouldn't have sent the new girl.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe they thought it was the Anne or Paul or both of them or whoever, and they
It's
just
hard-
shot whoever walked to the door?
It's hard to tell really what was going on there.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. If you have any insight into what is going on with the waitress getting shot, please let us know,
Yeah.
because that just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, why would you? Yeah, it doesn't. I don't get
Yep. Then we get this massive exposition, which did it feel to you that it was way like, why is he telling this to this main bartender when she's clearly like a resident of the town and she should know what's going on?
I will forgive Silent Hill when it happens, so this movie didn't bother me none.
Of course.
So it doesn't. No, expositions are. I agree that they aren't the best things,
Yeah,
but I don't care. It doesn't bother me that much.
I guess.
I like because if that's the way they're gonna give me a little bit of history of like what's going on, fine. At least I could gain some knowledge from it.
You're just totally fine with them stopping the movie, sitting down, and being like, okay, this is
I think-
exactly what's going
I think
on.
it was a great way to kind of ease you back into it after they just randomly shot some waitress.
I suppose. Then, so we learned that basically when they set the foundation to build this house, they uncovered something evil. And in order to appease these gods that they dug up, they have to sacrifice a family every 30 years or so.
Yeah.
That is the gist of what is going on. And the Dagmars were the first sacrifice. Did he straight up admit that they made up the whole, like, they were stealing corpses?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. In any case, that is their whole fear is that if they don't
Appease the monster.
appease the monsters, it's going to destroy the entire town.
Yeah.
And they're curious as to why it's been 2 weeks and this Paul and Anne are still alive.
Yeah.
So,
It's because their boys protecting them.
yeah. Oh. Well.
That was my guess.
Then we get Paul having a dream, nightmare. He looks over and Anne's all like decayed.
Yeah.
And then there's a demon monster,
Yeah.
ash, fire,
Char monster.
char monster. But it's just a nightmare.
He wakes up. He's fine.
Mm-hmm. Then when he startles Anne awake and they like hear Bobby's voice saying like, "It'll be okay."
Yeah.
Something to that
And
effect.
Anne's like, "Did you hear that?" He's like, "I did."
Then they decide, May and Jacob and all of them decide they're going to have a seance.
Yeah.
But May doesn't feel quite so well because when Paul had that nightmare, she sort of felt it in her.
Yeah. She also felt something too when Harry got killed by the Char Monster.
Yeah.
Well, so she decides to go grocery shopping with
Anne. Yep. And when Anne and May are off grocery shopping, they run into Dave, who May just gets right off the bat, does not have a good vibe about this Dave guy.
Creepy.
Yep.
But, yeah. Back at home, though.
Jacob is disobeying May.
He's like, check this out, candles.
Yeah.
We're going to have a seance.
And Paul's like, didn't May say not to have a seance? He's like, well, that's exactly why we have to do it right now.
So, long story short, Paul gets
Possessed.
And he's like, but the way, I actually really like how they did this. So he's saying something like, you know, we need to blah, 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 blah. You know, it's something kind of like just, we need to do this, and then peel the skin off their bones.
Yeah.
Like, and he just kind of trails into this super violent, like.
And there's a little bit of an effect on his voice where it's like a double
Paul's like,
voice.
What?
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
We're trying to contact my son. And Paul's like, you mean my son? And he's like, oh. Yeah.
Which you and I were confused about whose son was who to begin with.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we figured out that Harry was who Harry was and who Bobby was and all that.
But
it took us a while.
And then he wakes up from his being possessed and saying weird shit. Says, "Tie me down now!" You know. So they tie him up, and he's saying crazy shit. Then the women come home, and he starts saying more crazy shit. And like about how Harry's dead, and May's like, "No, my son's not dead."
Well, at first they have him. Paul had him gagged with a sock.
Oh yeah, he eats it.
He chows down on that sock.
That was really gross.
Yeah.
Then he starts saying terrible things. May gets pissed. Then Paul and Anne leave for a second, and then they come back, and May's beating him with a pan.
Oh yeah.
And then they pull her off of him, and
he busts out of the ropes.
Yeah, and then she's trying to talk him back. And but he grabs a fireplace poker.
He keeps on saying, "This is my house.
Yeah.
This is my house." And so he's been possessed by the Dagmar fella.
Yeah. So yeah, he decides that Jacob's a little used to him.
His eye itches.
Yeah, so he scratches it with the poker.
Right through the eye. So Jacob is now dead.
So they decide to run for their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And May gets to the door first. And she meets David again.
With a shotgun.
And her head meets Paul and Anne.
The atmosphere. Her brains meet the atmosphere.
And
when do they get the call from Kat? Well, at some point they get a call from Kat, and she has been stabbed.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And does she say anything?
I can't.
Doesn't she say like they're coming or something?
Something. I can't remember, and that's probably important though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, then you see a dozen or so
of the Char Monsters.
Townspeople.
Townspeople
coming to the house. Yeah.
Yep. And then the Char Monsters are eating the townspeople, but David's yelling at the Char Monsters like, "You needed to kill these people."
Yeah. There's this. It actually goes on for quite a while of the different townspeople getting like eaten through the floor, like basically burning down into the floor.
Yeah, they're like the house is swallowing them up.
They're just getting ripped apart. One person like gets slammed and then their chest like bursts open.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. The good old classic effects.
Yep. And then we get the Dave is yelling at the Dagmar, because then they kind of manifest. The Dagmars are just kind of standing there, and Dave goes on this rant of like, you need to do this, like, why are they still alive, so and so. And
then they turn his face into a donut.
Yeah, it's a very satisfying, like.
Well, he turns around, he points his shotgun at like Anne and Paul.
Yep.
And giving them the speech, and then Dagmar just comes up from behind him and just squishes his head in.
Yeah.
And it's like what they did, like it looked like, because it's like burning him at the same time, and it looks like his like neck was starting to glow with heat and stuff. And it just explodes his head.
Yes, it shows everything. Yeah, it's
good.
fantastic.
And then he like backs up and he grabs his daughter and wife's hand, or grabs his daughter's hand and puts his arm around his wife, and that's that for the Dagmars, anyways.
Yeah, they go off back into the basement.
So they got in that little hole, and then they got their meat for the 30-year hibernation, I guess.
Yeah. Then it shows Paul. Does it show both of them, Paul and Anne, looking down into the basement? And then Paul just goes, "Hey, Bobby."
Oh yeah, because Anne goes down in the basement, and he goes down and to look, and you just see a smile come on Paul's face, and he says, "Hey, Bobby," and then that's that.
That's that.
Then you get the title again.
Yep. But yeah, they do a really cool thing with the end credits where it's like interspersed with the names and the credits. It shows like newspaper clippings.
Yeah.
Of
different events surrounding the town.
Yeah, basically leading up from. It starts off like new mortuary built. Then goes on to like how there's droughts and sicknesses and what is the curse that is plaguing what is it, Iresville,
Ireland.
Whatever, I don't know, whatever the name of the town is. So yeah, it's a neat little end credits scene. Then we just get an outdoor shot of the house, right?
Well, then we get the indoor showers just sitting there for a bit, and you're like, what is, okay, what's...
Oh, that's right.
What's going to jump up? What's going to jump up all of a sudden? You just get a single piano key, goes ding,
ding,
and then that's it.
Yeah.
We are still here. That's what, then the title comes back up.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's that.
That's We Are Still Here. So yeah, what do you think of We Are Still Here?
I did have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
There were some bits and pieces where you're like, that could have been a little bit better, but overall, I had a pretty good time. I think the premise was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The effects were good. I liked the music. I can't remember the guy's name.
Music was really good.
I actually really liked the music. It was between like ambient and like dark ambient in certain spots.
Some piano in there.
Yeah, but it did set a decent mood. The effects were good. The cinematography stuff, I liked some of the more artsy shots he did and stuff. Some of the acting seemed a little flat sometimes. It would be my only gripe.
Yeah, I would say mainly from May.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just felt like some of her dialogue was a little bit hokey.
Yeah.
And
sure. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be my only gripe. But I mean, it wasn't like what I liked about it though is because it's a 2015 movie. You just have a different expectation. But this would have been like normal in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like this. I mean, it would
have been good.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, it's definitely not bad acting.
It's not bad. It falls flat in the comparison with what you get normally from today's horror movies.
Whoa,
where everything is like super serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everything is super serious or angsty or something. This was more.
It does have a little bit of that like
it's got that
cheese.
Charm. Yeah, the cheese charm to it.
Not super cheesy, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
It falls a little flat, but not in a way that offends me. I don't find it like offensive. I guess I don't even want to say that, but you know what I mean. I don't think it's bad. Like if it's good, but yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I thought I had a pretty good time with this one.
Yeah, and it's short enough where I feel like I could watch it multiple times.
Yeah.
And
just with some of the things that kind of happen, I kind of want to go back I do want to go back and watch it just to see if there's anything you might have missed.
And when you brought up that how we can't really tell what time period it's set in, it reminds me of It Follows.
Yep.
Where it's like, is there a word for that? Where
Kubrickism?
where you can't really tell the time period.
Well, from what I understand about It Follows is that guy lifted a bunch of Kubrick style like techniques to create an uneasiness in his film.
Yeah.
Like by changing seasons randomly, it seemed like, and putting windows in places where they don't make sense.
Yeah.
Just kind of things like just little weird things that kind of offset you, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So I wonder. Now I want to go back and watch it again to see if there's elements in the house or like cars on the street that don't really match up with other things.
But even looking at the title, because you can see it. I mean, it's almost like a modern classic.
Yeah.
You know, like for like the 80s style, like. So basically, it's like a modern like haunting movie in an 80s like feel almost. You know, like it kind of fits in this whole. It could almost have been a found footage movie. You know, but yeah, there's not very many. Everything's set around this like 3 sets. You know, it's perfect. It was a lot of fun actually. Now, as far as ranking it, I'd give it a seal of approval.
For sure.
Bronze, silver, gold, platinum. The effects and the music I really like. The premise I really like. I would go at least a high silver.
Okay. Yeah, I would say
maybe mid silver. I don't know. There's like, it was fun, but like I don't hold it up to like Martyrs or you know what are some of our golds have been?
Cloverfield.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a solid silver at least.
Yeah.
At least.
The only thing that really drags it down for me was the seeming need for exposition.
Sure.
And the in-your-face exposition that is...
Yeah, you hate
that Dave goes on. Like, that
well, that's what
was so unnecessary.
That's what killed the tiebreaker for me when it
Silent
came to
Hill?
Silent Hill was that 20-minute exposition.
Oh my god! At the end,
because everything else about it, like when
the atmosphere is perfect.
Yeah, when he threw the skin at the church, you're like, oh yeah, that one's definitely better.
Yeah.
Then you saw the exposition, you're like, never mind, I'd rather watch.
No, way too much. Like, tell it through the scenery,
or don't tell it.
Yeah.
Don't tell it. It doesn't need to be told.
Sure.
So like, I can get on board with you. Like between the exposition, like it doesn't bother me, but I can see like the fault in it. That and then a little bit of the beginning pacing.
Yeah.
Was a little bit slow. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I still had fun with it though.
It does have a nice build up. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starts out slow, but yeah, once things start going, it moves at a steady pace.
Sure.
Besides that exposition.
Yeah, I like the monsters a lot too. Yeah, I would give it a solid silver.
I would agree.
Yeah.
All right, get at us on Twitter at ScreamFiends. Let us know what you thought of We Are Still Here. Thank you to Tom Gigliotti for recommending this movie. I'm really glad I finally watched it because I've passed over it many times, like going through Netflix. It used to be on Netflix. Now we found it on Amazon. Don't know if it's on Hulu, but
yeah, it's included with Prime if you have that.
Yeah, if you've been sort of on the fence about watching it, I would say definitely watch it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely watch this movie.
All right. Hit that subscribe. Hit that like. Get the full episode of this show on iTunes or Google Play. And that's about it, right?
I think that's it.
From us at Scream Fiends, so long and farewell.
Bye. I like that one. It feels like an 80s movie. Could be 80 stars in it, but...